happy Monday, everybody, and preemptory Veterans Day to everybody as well.
Oh, yes. Yes, yeah. Veterans Day. We also have Marvin Montanaro from That Park Place and Geeks and Gamers. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Look what came in the mail just the other day. The Unexpected on DVD.
Hey. It unexpectedly came in the mail?
Yeah. Well, no, it was expected. I bought it.
Well, so, then see, there you go. So it's not very
But it is an unexpectedly great little movie.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to pop it in. I don't think I've put like a physical disc into my PlayStation in a very long time. So I'm excited for that.
Fun, man.
That breaks my heart.
I know. I know that I need to do more physical media because obviously it's important. But at the same time, I'm just like, I have not a lot of space for too much stuff.
You make the space, sir.
I got to make the space. You're right.
Somebody who has a ton of space because sometimes he's in outer space. Mr. Paul Chatto, how you doing this morning? I muted you there.
Segue, Tom.
You're not. You're on.
No idea what to do with my. Thank you. I have no idea what to do with my 8,000 square feet of living space.
Physical media.
Well, it is snowing.
Yeah. It did snow a little here yesterday too. Is it sticking for you yet?
Yeah, it's sticking. It'll be gone by Wednesday. But
same here. But how you doing today?
I'm very good. I finished off another edition of Appalling News, and it always takes way more to edit that shitty little show. So I'm exhausted.
Isn't that funny how you put the most work in the things that like the least amount of people watch? But like, hey,
that's a news show, so you're always wanting to get images, right, as you're talking.
Yeah. Right. At the same time, you're actually far better at delivering the news than the likes of CNN and so many others.
Well, I have been told that.
Well, and Andre does that crap to me too. He's like, "This will be a very simple video," and then in the video, he's like listing off all these things. It's like, that ain't simple, Andre. I got to go find all that crap now.
Yeah. Well,
speaking of,
sorry, I was just going to say. I mean, part of the challenge with any kind of news is censorship is not just what they say about what that they've picked, but censorship is about omission also. So
kind of like CNN.
Yes. So topics that they refuse to cover, that is ostensibly censorship. But I mean, you only have so many minutes in during your
to repeat the same thing over and over again.
So there's those of us who have an opportunity to talk about stuff that everyone else refuses to talk about. So
this is true.
We fill in the
we have a late incomer here. We got Chris Brawley of Bleeding Fool. How you doing this morning?
Late but not forgotten.
Nope. In fact, we showed your comic book Dealy Jobby before the start of the broadcast here.
I love Dealy Jobbies. Thank you so much.
Me too.
A little forgotten. A little bit.
A little zoomer.
A little bit.
Oh, come on. Who is that guy at the top? Move him down to the bottom. I need to
this
swap
guy?
Ollie. Yeah.
A little bit.
I think I can manage that.
A little bit.
That's better. Much better.
Get all the brown hate here. It's not good.
We have one guy.
Make him the center square. Like,
now the Italians are going down there. I see how it is.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Always the Italians. You always turn your rage to the Italians. There we go.
There we go.
Here. I'll fix it all. I'll fix it all. There we go.
Foundation. The foundation of it all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Holding everything else.
Still Irish need apply for the top row.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm actually watching towards the end of Foundation right now. Like, yeah, it's actually an amazingly good show if you just remember that the real focus is the Empire and the Cleons. If you focus on that and you just fast forward through all that other boring crap with the Foundation and all of the DEI team and everything like that.
Yeah.
Just fast forward through it and just focus on the amazing, awesome Cleon stuff. It's pretty decent.
Did anybody else watch Pluribus on Apple TV this week?
I haven't started it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
I knew nothing about even the premise going into it. I just knew everybody was talking about it. So I was like, all right, I better watch this for work. After the first episode, I was just like, oh my God.
Nice.
Well, I had a problem with the first episode and the way it was presented. If they had glued together episode 1 and 2 and made it into a contiguous movie so it flowed, that this is the setup and then this is where we're going, I really, apart from some clues, I thought, oh, this is the same old bullshit after the first episode. I was really not that interested, but there was some clues as to, okay, there's some fun stuff going on. And then episode 2 just pulled it all together. Okay, this is the premise. Why would they present it as 2 episodes? I did not understand that. It would have been a phenomenal single 2-hour, special movie starter. But that being said, and the thing is too, the Apple interface did not automatically go, oh, do you want to see the next episode? I didn't even know there was a so it didn't go, hey, click, go to next episode.
That's
I
weird.
finished the first episode.
I think you have a set. I think it's a setting. I think that's on you, Chato.
That may be a
I'm
setting.
pretty good with my computer stuff there.
Oh,
Are you
excuse
watching
me.
it on a Mac or are you watching it on a television, Paul?
I watched it on my Apple Watch. It wasn't very impressive.
There's a setting for that.
I should have pressed the crown.
As soon as you started bashing Severance season 2, I tapped out of your.
No. Severance season 2 was not good.
Oh, come on.
Ooh.
I watched a new show over the well, it's not new. I watched the
You watched,
Dahmer
Tony?
monster thing.
Oh, Dahmer. Yep.
Oh.
wait,
They
that was
got a lot
new
of shit
thing.
wrong. And then like
yeah.
Well, it's
So
fine.
basically, it's worth watching on your Apple Watch.
exactly,
No,
yeah.
Oh, it is well done. It's clear that you could not have done that show without a hefty budget to pull it off.
Which
Apple
one?
Which?
does invent.
Dahmer?
Apple makes.
No, he's talking about the show that you guys are
Oh, Pluribus. Okay. All right.
Pluribus,
Oh, Apple.
Pluribus.
I also
I'm
watched.
actually
I
catching
also
up. Go on.
was gonna say I also saw the new Frankenstein last night on
seen that
Netflix. I liked, as a Frankenstein purist, I really liked it. I had a few issues with some of the characterization, but other than that, I still really enjoyed the movie.
wonder if you and I'll-
What was that?
I wonder if you and I might have the same opinion on a couple of things.
We might, because I really like in Frankenstein, I really like the concept of who is the monster and who is the man. And in
Yeah.
this, it's very clear who the monster is in this.
Well, yeah. Well, first off, it was an amazing production.
Yes.
The production design, the character design, the costumes, just
breathtaking.
about everything. When I went into it, my first worries were, one, is this going to look like a streaming movie or is it going to look like a movie? And for the most part, it was very cinematic, and I appreciated that. The other thing I was worried about, is there going to be any Marvel humor in this thing? Is there going to be some kind of like self-deprecating stuff or something?
It's Guillermo del
Because
Toro, so not
I know,
really,
and so
yeah.
there was a couple of moments where I was kind of like, The music they used in the montage of the creation of the creature, I was kind of off by, but otherwise,
a little
the only
weird.
problems I had, the only
You know
narrative
what?
problems I
don't
had.
need-
Oh.
I don't need to see an 8th version of the movie. So
Anyway, his
Okay.
narrative issue scribbles.
So
Go ahead.
I want to see what Marvin has to say about this. So I had two. I'll try not to do any spoilers per se, but I had two major issues with the narrative choices. The first one was the change in the relationship dynamic between Victor and Elizabeth,
Yes.
where they are not an item; they are separated in relationship. And I afterwards I could kind of see why that choice might have allowed him to do some story beats that he would have had to come up with different excuses for otherwise. But it also took away some of the stakes from the resolution of the story. And the other thing too, and maybe this is what you're talking about, the monster, the creature, is never a villain in this story. He is
Never.
always a perfect hero. Everything he does is justified. Every act of violence he undertakes is self-defense or in defense of others. The one major event in the original story that really shows that he's human by doing a terrible thing to an innocent person never happens. And in fact, that moment is stolen from him by Victor. So Victor is the villain. The creature is perfect. And I think that actually damages the overall
where you're
story,
coming from.
in my
I
I was
agree.
going to say, because Marvin, you were saying like, there's a big question of who's the real monster here. I was like, I don't think that's ever been in question from the original book on through every version.
Well,
It's pretty
I think
obvious that Dr. Frankenstein is generally the monster in the
I
situation.
think that
but
Victor
yeah.
and the creature are always kind of in this morally gray area because they both are capable of of good and evil, and they show it throughout. They're well developed characters and pretty much everything. But Victor was just a straight up evil incel in this at times, and like by aging up William, you take away the story point for the reason as to why Victor hates the creature, because
Yes.
the creature is just a failed experiment that he tries to get rid of originally. In this, it's, well, the girl I like looked at the creature and said he was cool, so now I have to kill it. Like that bothered me. But then the creature killing his brother, who was a child, that's the thing that makes Victor hate the creature and makes him hunt him. And like by taking that away, I felt like a lot of the core connection between the two characters was removed from the film.
It's a really good thing you guys didn't spoil the movie. Good job.
I mean, it's only a 150-year-old story.
Yeah, 200-year-old
But,
story here. Yeah.
Yeah, but
did.
Victor at least had, like, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
The original character at least had some quasi well intentions in trying to defeat death. You know, he wants to actually help people and everything else, but of course his ego gets in the way and his godlike powers. And then the creature, the creature becomes less human in this version by being never having a moral quandary or never doing anything that's morally questionable. He is decidedly, both in the story and in this one, a true victim of Victor's machinations, but everything that he chooses to do is pure of heart.
I was gonna say, isn't kind of the core of the whole idea of Frankenstein that the monster, being basically a child, learns the difference between right and wrong and chooses right, as Victor, who is an adult and does and should know the difference between right and wrong, chooses wrong by creating life, by acting as God, right? Like, I think that's kind of the core of the whole thing, isn't it?
Except the creature's choices later on in the story are intentional and are
he wants
the
revenge.
knowledge. And exactly. When he does something completely out of spite and revenge to punish Victor, that is a choice of villainy. Even if it's understandable, even if it feels justified in a way because of everything that happened, it's still taking an innocent life for the sake of
I get what you're
revenge.
saying. There's not enough balance there, basically.
Yeah,
No, there's none. Yeah.
The creature always starts out being a pure being. It's a new life, and tries to make the right decisions. The stuff with the blind man and his family, like that, always is the moral center of the creature. But the world beats him down to the point where he has anger and just this sense of how unjust humanity is, and it brings him to hate humanity, which is why I think he is so, he makes the decision in the original story to basically destroy everyone that's ever interacted with Victor.
I liked how the creature strapped the blind guy onto his back and then attacked all the creatures in the forest.
Yeah, he took the bottom. He took the top half of the old man and did C-3PO on him and everything.
Him on his back, and that was a really good moment for me.
I thought Oscar Isaac was brilliant in the role.
Oh yeah, the performances were amazing. Performances were great. Everything.
The cinematography was outstanding. The music was. I liked the music even when it was a little strange. I still think it's the best movie of this year. I just had some problems with it as a big Frankenstein fan.
You got some loose connections going on, Marvin, but I saw it twice in the theater. It's my favorite movie of the year, and the father-son relationship, the father-sons, the father-son relationship is hit hard in this film. And watching it again, the dialogue, the language, there's some really beautiful dialogue written and kind of conveying that. Even the word, the only word that he knew at first was Victor, and it drove Oscar Isaac crazy. It's like, learn a new fucking word, you know what I mean? And he couldn't. And then Maya's character came in and was like, met the monster, and it's like, but he only knows one word. And she's like, well, that word means everything to him right now. And that's you. You're his father. It was absolutely wonderful. And the performances were just, I mean, Oscar and Elordi just knocked it out of the park.
They did.
Yeah.
By the way, is my microphone connection any better now? I just restarted everything.
No, not really.
Oh, crud.
Yeah, slightly. I'll give it a.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
But let's, maybe it's just various of us are hearing it. I don't know how the chat's hearing it, but let's see what the chat's talking about. Because we got some topics of the day, especially Borderlands with Hyperguyver here saying, this is a new Predator movie, sounds lame and gay. Well, we got a few people on the panel who have seen it. We're going to talk about the box office, so we'll get into that shortly. Grimzilla says, like a Predator comic fan finally made a Predator film. This has been, some people have been enjoying this movie. I think, Andre, you gave it a pretty good review.
I did. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really curious to discuss why there are people who absolutely are determined to hate it. This
Exactly.
this seems a bit overboard for me. That's the impression I'm getting from people.
I agree. And what surprises me, and this was the point of the previous video we just dropped, because I didn't just do a really simple, superficial review. I also comment on the same thing. It seems that many, especially in the industry, wants this movie to fail, because all of the rumors that we heard around it, many of which actually came from the trades, from the official reviews, from, for instance, the Hollywood Reporter, where they were saying, "Oh, this Predator, he's gay, and we should claim it," and also there's romance between the Predator and the synth, the human female. It's all bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing of that there. It's not even misinformation, it's disinformation. Someone is spreading overt lies about this movie. And of course, then you have some people think, oh, it's Disney, so I want to hate it now. Yeah. And I disagree, because this is actually a pretty cool movie. Now, I don't agree with all of the creative choices made in it, far from it. But I think that you can tell that this movie, Predator Badlands, has been made by fans. It is not as good as if it had been made by the writers of those fantastic Dark Horse comics from the 90s, but it does look like someone. Well, no, 100%. It looks like the people who made this have read those comics. They like them. Simple proof of that is this Predator. He's Broken Tusk from the comics.
I mean, that goes along with what my source was telling me, is that they are trying to make Predator and Alien stuff for the fans. They're definitely, at least on the Predator side, definitely not trying to make it woke. I mean, I'm sure they have to adhere to certain things that Disney wants to do. At least that's what I was told. But then when all this stuff started coming out, I was like, oh, great.
There's also a difference between, let's call it a bad movie, and arguing about the creative choices somebody has made within a movie, because that's what most creative efforts are mostly choices. And you either have a thematic choice right at the very beginning that colors the entire project, and then you can also have individual scenes where choices are being made in the dialogue and how things are executed. That's a different set of arguments and discussions. It just seems to me that people are just prepared to hate it.
I think to that point, if you don't mind me saying, is Disney has sort of brought that on themselves, right? So Disney has a lot to prove, number one. And number two, the Predator movies under Disney have sort of shifted, or at least with Prey, shifted to strong female protagonist. And then you have the issue of coming out with the lesbian haircut is what I've seen it described as. So that was your first image of the Predator. And then it's not helped when, as Andre's video, and he just mentioned, when you have the Hollywood Reporter in the first or second paragraph saying this Predator is queer and we should say it, you have already pushed off a certain amount of people that even like to share the meme of Arnold Schwarzenegger's arm, when he, the opening shot with Action Jackson, for whatever reason, I can't remember.
Carl Weathers.
Mando?
Yeah, Carl Weathers.
Action Jackson.
Well, I love Action Jackson. It's my favorite movie from him. So Rocky movies aside. So you have a high testosterone, actually frightening science fiction horror movie that turned into this action thriller, great comics and all this. And then Disney gets it, and it's Chatty Cathy on the back. And it reminds people of C-3PO, and the media are not helping things with these reviews. It's understandable that there's pushback, but I think it's all created. I mean, it's not a organic, natural, let's go see the movie. Because, you know, going to see Predator, originally, I didn't know anything. The poster was some weird heat vision looking shot of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I didn't know what I was in for, right? But now there's all these preconceived notions based on those original films of what we are expecting to see. And I understand. I think a lot of it's bad. But you do have Disney trying to sort of maybe appeal to women and give it a little bit of a girl brand affectation just to sort of widen it. And it paid off. It sold. It did earn more at the box office, even adjusted for inflation. I do know that we did a little deep dive in it and noted that Alien versus Predator still sold almost twice as many tickets. Of course, ticket prices were a lot cheaper back in 2004. But, to Disney's credit, I think they probably did well. I don't know if they're going to make 250, 300,000 or 300 million on this movie. But I think part of it's a shame that you have, and that Hollywood Reporter, the Deadline did it too, but Hollywood Reporter was really, actually IndieWire was saying, this isn't your testosterone gritty, he was really downplaying it as though the Predators have now evolved past this,
worst thing you could say.
Yeah, and when you look at the movie, those Predators, they have not evolved beyond toxic masculinity. Let's put it this way.
I don't know what's going on, but I think there is something nefarious about the way the Hollywood press has handled this movie.
Did you see the movie, Chris? Did you see the movie,
not.
Chris?
I have not.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I saw it, and it's almost as if they feel threatened by this movie, that this is something like, holy shit, this actually can be returned to the kind of crowd pleaser and action that audiences actually want. We have to stop this. We have to let everyone know that, no, this is nothing like that. When it is, it totally is. And
it's just been fascinating watching.
So let me just give some of my takes from someone that just saw it last night. I love the runtime. It's a great pace. It's a short film, and I'm not saying that because I wanted to get out of there. I'm saying that because it's confident with what it put up. It didn't need to fluff it. It didn't need to add anything into exactly what it was. I was completely surprised how entertaining it was. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't go in there with because I didn't pay attention or read any of these high headlines that Chris was talking about. And shit like a female lead doesn't bother me to begin with. The first Predator, besides Dutch, the Latina girl survived, and we saw her smarts. We saw how she aided and helped Schwarzenegger as well. So I don't care about that stuff. Entertain me. I'm a Elle Fanning fan. She was a lot of fun. It was a great balance because the whole point, and Andre said this in his, as far as a spoiler, is that this main Predator is he shouldn't be alive. They his own clan wants nothing to do with him because he is not fully grown. He didn't grow. What a great premise, because it's not like, let's do Predators on Mars. Let's do Predators, whatever. That I really, really appreciated that Trachtenberg, let's take a different take. The whole thing's entertaining. And what else? The humor. I did not expect the humor, and it didn't take away from the action. It kind of reminded me that the film, of a 90s film. So I was like really surprised, really entertained. I recommend it.
I've seen a lot of people have enjoyed it that maybe went into it with low expectations and did not know really what they were looking for. And I'm talking about people who are fans of the franchise, not like newbies who never saw the original. And maybe there's a couple of creative choices, I think, that Andre even sort of alluded to. One of them being how seeing the mask more as a tribal type thing rather than a tactical sort of device choice. But it's clear from the feedback that we're getting, even the guys and gals that work at Bleeding Fool that have seen it, it's not the way it's being described by the mainstream press, which I think is what's interesting this sort of an interesting observation that's being made.
Well, my I haven't seen the film, but my trepidation ahead of time was not only they showed the Predator's face without the mask to begin with, which I always thought was kind of odd, which I thought to myself as a super fan, I don't know what's going on here. But the other thing too is, like Chris said, this is an earned trepidation from Disney and Fox. Alien Romulus had a lot of memberberry stuff in there and a lot of inserted things that made me kind of go, ugh. And then Alien Earth, which is the follow-up to this effectively, was absolutely terrible. It was just garbage. And I thought, okay, well, if Disney and Fox don't know what to do with the franchises they have, and when they'd have them, they don't know how to treat them with due respect or, insight as to what I thought. I don't have a whole lot of hopes for this thing. And so like Chris said, it is an earned hesitancy, and maybe that's just the albatross around Trachtenberg's neck, is that he has to deal with a studio and a company that has so far not done right by those properties, and he's doing his best to do so, and so kudos to him.
Well,
Andre,
I just
want
to say before we go too far away from it, because like the whole media thing getting involved in this, because I have not seen the movie, so I'll keep this brief. But like it's it seems like to me the same kind of thing the media did to Superman, right? They tried to put all this stuff into the movie that wasn't there. They've been doing this stuff for, it's like the media is their own, the studio's own worst enemy. And I hope the studios realize this pretty soon, because they're not helping the movies. I haven't seen the box office yet for this week, and we were a little long in the tooth here. We need to get into that. But bouncing off of that, like this whole thing, after hearing Andre's review, hearing you guys talk about this whole, gay bromance thing they got going on in the movie, according to the Hollywood Reporter or whoever it was, that isn't even there. What are you doing? Are you trying to will it back into existence? Is that what's going on here? Because that's my bigger question.
I think that's it.
One more thing that I want to say about the film is that I brought it up real quickly, Andre, is that this does, Trachtenberg and Predators does what Tron Ares should have done. You have two 80s IPs, right? And the storytelling, the characters, you compare the two, which really came out within weeks of each other, and it kicked its ass. I mean, Tron Ares is one of the worst movies of the year, but I was like, right on, and then so yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny when you compare it to the original Predator, which had to come out amidst Full Metal Jacket, The Untouchables, Lethal Weapon. I mean, that was quite a summer for movies and for Predator to kind of stand out. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on what you're saying, Marvin.
I've never understood the media fascination with, like, here's a character in an established IP. I wonder who they sleep with. Like, why is that
the gayest Predator ever?
Exactly. It's just, it is a fixation on it. And like no one should ever speak to Mark Malkin on a red carpet again after what he tried to do to Superman. Like 100%, they should just walk past this guy.
Well, Marvin, okay, so back in the 90s when I was in Hollywood, there was a constant fixation as to who was gay and who wasn't. I would literally be at some kind of casting thing, and someone would leave the room, an actor would leave the room, and then the person sort of running things would turn and go, is he gay? Like it was constantly being asked. It was a weird fascination with 90s Hollywood and possibly before. So, having reporters who are gay and thrilled when something is perceived rightly or wrongly as being gay, that's kind of home team stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see it in gaming, like, the polygons and stuff like that. They're like, oh, Link is trans, or this character in this game is gay, and it's just like,
level. No, we've
I get what
this
Paul's
new
talking
where suddenly there's people are saying Joan of Arc is trans. Like this goes right back to the era of the Soviet Union. You kids are too young, But at one point in the 70s, we were reading articles where everything was invented by the Soviets and nothing was invented by Edison or anybody in the West. And we were just reading constant propaganda on how cars were invented by the Soviets. I mean,
so in other words, black history now.
Everything.
We was comrades.
Yes, comrades invented it. So this transference, if you could call it, is just, to me, is a repeat of everything that I heard the communists doing back in the 70s.
I think you guys are right.
Transubstantiation.
There's that too. They're substantiating their transness.
Oh, and this guy, I tell you, that's great, but I really need you to tell us how gay this production is.
Someone should ask.
Is this the gayest Predator movie you've ever saw?
You know what? A lot of people do Mark Malkin impressions. You have the best one.
I know.
Everybody just
I've heard this bastard for 5 years piss me off. So
everybody just does a Harvey Firestein impression whenever they do a Mark Malkin.
Harvey's way down here.
Yep,
oh, baby doll. Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
No, that's
Mark Malcolm's up
You're
here.
doing
He's
art.
a gay muppet.
That sounded like Divine, actually. A
little bit. Getting there. You're throwing me off here. I got to do so many darn.
Gayest mug. I can't do it.
I'm the gayest muppet ever. Fuck you, Gonzo.
You have to understand, if you hang out with the gay community for any amount of time, things that are on Team Gay are of great interest.
Right. And then Grimzilla, thank you for the super chat. We do need to get it. We got some more Predator stuff. Let's get into the box office side of this, though, because that's obviously part of it. Well, we're breaking down Predator as well. So here we go into the box office news. I don't know who's got the box office up for us today, but I don't have it.
I'm happy that Predator is at the top of the heap.
Did you want me to bring it up?
Sure.
Yeah, feel free.
Usually somebody does, so the one day I don't have it ready.
Yeah, typically. Well, we have something here, at least in the private chats, to go with that. Where we have the big story with this weekend's box office. We don't necessarily have the entire top 10, but check the private chat. On there we have the headline from Deadline Hollywood, which is that Predator Badlands slays with 80 million global opening for franchise best, which means that Disney tops 4 billion worldwide. So this is the international update right here. And that really is the big news on this one, and we find the rest of the top 10 domestically. But obviously, the big news box office wise is that Predator Badlands came in way above expectations, because this movie was projected to open to not even 30 million. It was projected initially to open in the 20-something million range, because the interest in it was that low. But then something happened. Over the course of the weekend, projections started getting revised, only upwards. This is something that Marvel hasn't seen since back when the MCU was good, because what they're used to by now is that the movie comes out, it's projected to do so and so well, people see the movie, and then projections start sliding, and it does significantly worse than anticipated just days earlier. We saw this most recently with Tron Ares. Before that, we saw it with Fantastic Four First Steps, and before that, we saw it with Thunderbolts, and before that, we saw it with Captain America Brave New Worlds, and in between that, we also saw it with Snow White. But not this time. This time, projections actually were revised upwards. So Predator Badlands, it's actually something of a surprise win here. That's kind of like the really big story. So it opened to 80 million worldwide, of which half came from the domestic audience as the number one movie this fall. That's weekend.
Where you want it to be, exactly.
40 million. Yeah. This is exactly what they want.
I think word of mouth helped it. I honestly do. I think that between all of the YouTube spheres getting the word of mouth out there that this is not the bullshit that the media was thinking it was, or presenting it as, helped this movie over the weekend. That's the only thing I can see that had happened. Nothing else really makes sense. So
I think what also helps is the fact that it didn't have a lot of competition out there. Well, they didn't try to release it in the summer. They didn't try to release it, in a few weeks' time for like Thanksgiving or the holidays or whatever. This came out at the perfect time. Yeah. However, the media is trying to make it seem like this was some massive like blockbuster release. It's a moderately strong,
November usually has a breakout hit, and this might be the one this month that is going to be the breakout or the surprise hit. But my interest, just real quick, I want to say, the thing I found interesting because you guys brought up Tron Ares and about how Disney likes to pile their movies onto each other. Can you imagine had Tron Ares actually been a hit? They'd have basically killed Predator Badlands.
Yep. Yeah.
So I don't know why they keep doing that to themselves, but anyhow, go ahead, Marvin. I'm sorry. I just want to get that point out.
The one thing that you can't take away from this movie is that it shattered box office predictions because it was predicted to come out around 23 to 32, I believe, and it hit 40 domestic. So, and it hit another 40 overseas. So the grand total is 80, which is a good start. I don't know if it's going to get to the 300 to 350 that it needs to make money, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think they just spent too much. If there was any misstep here for Disney, other than letting the media paint it however they wanted, it's how much they spent because this movie sold more tickets than any other Predator installment except for Alien versus Predator.
You want to know why I think that is? It's because Prey.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if they're going back thinking, video. Man, we really should have put Prey out in cinema.
They should have. I said that when it came out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they did have Prey screenings the last.
They did. You're right. This did really well, and I think it's kind of for Predator fans. This is actually probably very good news because the franchise hasn't had this kind of a boost since that Alien versus Predator.
Right.
Era. So
the whole argument with Prey was exactly what Tom said, was that why did this movie not get a theatrical release?
Yeah.
And I knew a couple of people who got to see this screens of Prey on the big theater, and there was like, man, this thing is beautiful. And so
and his Killer of Killers is good too, the animated bit.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
The problem with Predator, or the problem we have here, is that Alien isn't as broad as Predator. And this is the first time they've really started to utilize Predator in ways that weren't just, let's throw them into a jungle or a concrete jungle and see what happens. That's kind of what the first few movies are.
Right.
And they kind of repeated that with the Shane Black one, right?
Let's put them on a planet. Let's put them on this.
Well, no, the Predators one was a little bit different. It was just a twist on the first movie. I'm talking about the one where it was in the fucking suburbs, where it's like a mishmash of all these other. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And
I really
finally with
Prey
and with the animated one, and now this one, they're actually getting into like the things they can do that are interesting with the Predator, the different types of predators, the different places you can go, the different eras, the different things you can see. There's so much more broader things you can do with the Predator, and I'm glad to see them finally utilize it. I'm surprised they don't have a series gearing up.
I just think that this movie is the right move at the right time because, these other films that have been failing with stars that we like, they're just miserable, sad bastard films, whether they're good or not, right? It's like people just don't really want to go to a movie theater and spend all this money on sad films right now.
Well, it's not just that. I think when you understand the premise of something, it's easier to digest and want to go see it. Please tell me what the premise of Tron Ares was. Silence. Okay, thank you. The premise of this Predator is runt of the litter goes out to prove himself.
Yes.
Premise. There it is. Correct. It's really easy to digest, and if you're a Predator fan, you go, yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Well, the risk you take with this is that you're transitioning from the Predator being a slasher monster to the protagonist. And depending on the balance they're going to have to strike is how to do that, but still maintain the sense that you're in the same realm as the character as established as when they were a villain. And you can't make them too cuddly. You can't make them too heroic. There's got to be something there. I mean, if you're going to make them like sort of like a super Klingon, you have to maintain that warrior culture kind of thing and not turn them too good.
Don't they maintain the warrior culture in this?
I've done a pretty good job with that.
I haven't seen the movie. I'm just saying that's the risk.
Here.
That's the risk you're taking.
No, and I totally get what Scribe is getting at here, because, and here's where I think they were able to do that.
Stuff that doesn't exist that you haven't seen for crying out loud.
No, but he's got a point. He's got a point, Paul. This is
I've read the comic books.
It's not in it.
No, I know, Paul.
Why prognosticate something?
I'm not. No, Paul, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about, I have read Predator novels. I've read Predator comic books. The Predator as a protagonist has been handled well in some cases and lousy in others. And depending on how they decide to go this project to project, it could either, fortify the franchise or it could risk. I'm not talking about the movie, Paul.
I get what he's saying. He's talking about the franchise as a whole.
And I'm saying I have seen one Predator poster, so I'm the fucking expert.
No, Paul. Yeah, I totally get what he's saying, because the initial film, like, this would be like if 3-4 films in, all of a sudden Michael Myers is the hero.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what he is saying, and that's true. That's kind of what happened with Predators, because it started out where you had Arnold Schwarzenegger as the lead. That's why, and it would have been just it would have been just another slasher movie hadn't it had Arnold Schwarzenegger as the lead, right? Like, so I get where Scribe is coming from. The initial idea, the initial concept of what Predator is, has kind of shifted over the years, and not for bad, but it can go bad. So is what he's saying. Yeah.
And I get what Scribe is saying, and Scribe is 100% correct. That's a general thing. But you know what? So far, they have found the same, and I have seen the movie, and so far they have struck the same balance that they did in the comics. Because in the comics, it's very easy to think that he's now a hero, but it's really a matter of perspective, because then you see the Predator, he's only heroic from the perspective of him, his people, and the people immediately close to him. You know how many humans are in the movie, this movie, Predator Badlands?
0.
How many people?
0.
Exactly. There are 0 humans in this movie. If there were humans in this movie,
that's the point.
They would all be cannon fodder for this Predator, because even if he is the runt of the litter, he'd kill every human on sight for shits and giggles. So he is still the villain from that point of view. We just see him from a different perspective. And that's the same thing that they did in the comics. And I'm honestly not too worried about that.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that, if the only like time that he's working with someone is people he's kind of like supposed to work with. So it's really a matter of perspective. I mean, anyone is kind of like friendly to the people around them, but they can still be a villain to anyone else.
We saw that in Alien versus Predator. I mean, he had to.
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but would we watch a movie where the son of Dutch goes up against Deck? Right? Is that gonna
not
who we're gonna root for? Right? And you make maybe son of Dutch the bad guy or something.
No, but the beauty of this now is that you've opened up the grounds that you can have Dutch return.
Yeah,
you can kind of take it back to the original film and still do that with another movie.
And the ending is very kind of like an exciting, cool, open, ending as to other things that could happen with this ragtag clan. And that's what I'd said in my review, was that your family, your blood don't want you, which is the Predator clan, his father. You go make your own. You go make your own clan, and that's what these guys did. They're all rejects in this film.
Exactly. I know, to be clear, to clear there, because Scribe, I'm glad you brought up the Klingons. These Predators, they are super Klingons. They are more Klingon than any Klingon that's ever Klingon.
Oh yeah, well that's how the Predators have always been kind of implied to be, and especially in the novels and the comic books, is effectively
and in the first 5 minutes of this movie, wow, I was just like, damn.
Do you think we'll get any like the Klingon in Starfleet Academy?
But I wanted to go back to what Tom said, because I think he's absolutely right, because Istron being a flop, in that the audiences have been waiting for something and pushing back to Chato, something fun and kick-ass to watch on a big screen. It's been months. It's been a long time, right? And I'm not talking about horror. Horror's always going to win. Right? What's the last? Probably you could argue is Superman. So now you're gonna. I think it's a good. And I said this is a great entry to the fall. You're gonna start having some fun kick-ass movies. Okay, let's go.
Well, and speaking of Superman, I mean, it's coming out now that the movie is somewhat profitable, as I've been pointing out for a while, and other things like that, especially now that it's had its home video run. And I think that's the key with Predator, right? Is that it's a big home video thing, and they'll be able to sell this movie along with the rest of the films.
Yeah.
Prey sold out on the Steelbook, right? Like they couldn't keep it in stock. I think they even did a second run of it. So like this, they have a fan base. I mean, arguably, it's getting bigger than the Alien fan base at this point. If you look at these numbers. So if they're smart, they'll tap into this and they'll do good by it. And it sounds like the people that I know that behind the scenes are trying their best to protect the Predator franchise, as strange as that sounds. But in the same
Paulie's
with
point,
the
Paulie's point is that this was a event sort of movie where you kind of like, we want to go to the amusement park and this sounds fun, so we're willing to invest the time and go to these cinemas, right? And we are so rarely getting that these days, and I'm hoping that that's what Hollywood will learn from this. And I think that's the whole reason AVP, I keep bringing it up, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I think that was one of those, you know, it's like King Kong versus Godzilla. It's like, oh my gosh, I've got to see that. That was Alien versus Predator, even though all of us familiar with the comic books knew it had already been done. But even back when the comic books did it, you were like, holy cow, this is a great idea. I want to see how they handle it. So now you've got a new Predator movie in cinemas. It's been a long time since you had a Predator movie in cinemas. Yep. And this franchise still got life. It still has life. And I think the Alien franchise really is kind of getting worn out. You mentioned something about maybe doing a Predator TV show, Tom. I could totally see that, but I guarantee you they keep the mask on almost the entire time, you know.
Yeah.
But
I can tell you
Romulus
something that would be really interesting just with the history of the Predator world.
Yes.
Because we haven't seen much of it. They are obviously a very advanced species, maybe somewhat in decline. I would imagine that this is a species in a tremendous state of decline, that they now have equipment from glory days past, because this movie actually gave a hint as to how long the Predators have been around as a space-faring civilization.
Yeah.
And I was kind of blown away by that. It's like, holy shit, that's a really long time here. There's some backstory here to share. Yep. And here, Scribelight, you know the comics better than me. Like, I read the first few rounds of Predator comics. I haven't read all of them. I don't know how much they went into Predator Society. But in this movie, mild spoiler, in the background, just like in Predator 2, you had an alien skull in the background. Here, there's the skull of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yep.
That means that the Predators were around 60 million years ago.
That's
okay.
I would say that the Predator universe is more complete than the Alien one. Just from being on the outside looking in, it feels like it's more robust and has more ways to go. Alien has been tapped out. It's just this constant time machine thing.
Well, that's because they've boxed themselves into that era.
Then again, I go back to the importance of premise, which is what we were concentrating on back when I was doing this. That you really need to be able to get the idea across to the audience very, very quickly. The Prey movie, that was a perfect example of Prey going into indigenous times and them dealing with it, is a fascinating premise. This premise was clear. Tron was not clear. You were basically promoting it just on apparently the popularity of Tron. And I know from writing more than 10,000 sketches and performing for decades on stage, it is shocking how much an audience, no matter how well executed a sketch was, the ones where they got the premise were always the funniest and most appreciated, even if you executed it badly. It was always the premise that the audience glommed onto and would tell you immediately whether it worked or not. I experienced this firsthand. And this is the problem that we're having with a lot of movies, that no one understands what the concept is it's not simple enough, it's not
Right.
enough explained, and it's not attractive enough. This this movie, Banjo-Kazooie, they had the Predator with this half-bodied female strapped onto his back. I go, okay, I get it. We're not getting that. We're not getting enough of that. Companion had to keep it secret, as part of the movie. And I think potentially if the premise was made available right from the very beginning, would it have been a bigger film? I would say yes, because generally keeping secrets is not a good thing. But that was an enjoyable movie.
My favorite Predator.
Companion?
I was talking about Companion, yeah.
Right, that's what I was saying. Yeah, and I think the since then Companion has gotten a bigger audience.
Yep.
And it's one of my
because everyone is telling everybody else what the premise is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's gotten popular because this is great because it turns out to be a robot.
Right.
Oops, sorry, folks.
Yeah.
My favorite Predator is one where he fights Batman in that alley.
Oh, that's right. That was a good one. That fan film was great.
Really good fan film.
And just to put this into perspective, the last theatrical Predator film, which would have been The Predator, the Shane Black one, the opening weekend for that was 24 million. So, like I said, Prey, I think, really helped this movie, and maybe even that the animated film. I think it's been slowly kind of rebuilding the fan base after the dumpster that was The Predator.
So that was Shane Black Blue.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The Predator, for what it's worth, it did do slightly better its opening weekend than Requiem.
Oh,
that's not worth anything, though. That's the problem, Chris.
Yeah, that's like it did better than Halloween 5. It's like,
the only reason the Predator, exactly. Thank you, Andre. That's a perfect example, because the only reason that the Predator isn't the worst Predator movie because Alien versus Predator Requiem exists.
Exactly.
Okay, like that. That's it. Like
that's the whole reason.
And that movie is like such bottom of the barrel. That is the muck below the muck, right? Like there's muck. There's shit, and then there's fucking Alien versus Predator Requiem right here, just kind of sitting there, and like even the fans are just like, don't even bring that shit up.
I mean, it's so bad you have to take the elevator up to get to hell. I mean, that's
I got to split, guys. Unfortunately, I got to get back to the
thanks for being here.
Thanks for joining. It was a pleasure to have you on. I hope to have you on much more in the future, my friend.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, guys. Everybody have a good rest of your Monday.
Check out Scribe Light's channel. He does TED Talks and other fun stuff over there.
Oh yeah. I got a show real quick this later this morning / afternoon. DEI Death Watch at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern, and then this Friday at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. I've got a new episode of my interview series called "Living on Borrowed Crime," where I interview true crime content creators on YouTube talking about the genre and their projects. And so I'm restarting that series after a bit of a hiatus because of real life stuff, and hopefully that'll start. And my my guest this week, sounds so clinical, is a channel called Beside the Dying Fire. He just released an 1.5 hour long documentary on a very controversial case of a police shooting. And this is a one-man shop, so an 1.5 hour long documentary with news footage and cuts and editing and subtitles. Not an easy road to hoe, so to speak. And so I'm going to talk to him about the process.
You should interview Yardley. Was it Yardley Smith from Small Town Dicks?
I am unaware.
Fantastic small crime. Real crime podcast.
You do realize she's Lisa Simpson, right? And
yes.
That's going to be very difficult.
Oh, Yeardley. Yeardley. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeardley.
If I can get her, I'll
right.
make a name for myself, I guess. But yeah.
No shit. Like
the moon, man.
Hey, I've shot for the moon a couple of times before.
That chick makes $1 million an episode. Like,
but
anyway, guys.
But she has this small passion project called Small Town Dicks. Right,
okay. I hear you. I got what you're talking about. I just if he could nail that, if he could get her as an interview, go for it. Yeah,
I'll shoot my shot and see what happens.
Yeah.
Everybody have a good rest of your Monday, and I'll see you later today or elsewise on Thursday. Bye, guys.
Take
care, man.
Thanks for joining us.
All right, let's go through the rest of the box office quickly here. We got Regretting You, which regrettably has barely made $40 million. It hasn't quite, but after 2 weekends, it probably is okay for a little movie like that. What was that one again? I can't even remember.
Well, Regretting You actually is now internationally. I think it hit 100 million, which people are piping about. That's with McKenna Grace and the kid from Black Phone and How to Train Your Dragon. They're really pushing that kid a lot. He's in the
Power of the female audience.
Yeah, it's totally. I mean, I haven't seen it. I mean, the premise was pretty silly, but it's total Hallmark film, girl stuff.
Yeah, exactly, and that's good. I would much rather they make movies like Regretting You and Barbie and stuff like that, and make actual chick flicks for chicks, rather than forcing what should be movies for everyone and for the guys into becoming chick flicks. Because
do you think they did that at all with? So me and you did see Predator. Do you think they did that at all with the new Predator film?
Very little. I mean, I thought that the synth, she was overtly friendly, but apparently this was one that was designed specifically to be like more emotional in order to better understand the wildlife of the planet being explored. So there kind of like was a story excuse for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that that particular specimen was a little bit like on the touchy-feely side. But again, there was a story excuse for it, so fine, whatever. And it didn't detract from the movie in a major way. It was like, yeah, okay, fine, this is very atypical of synths in general, but hey, you gave a story reason for it, so I'll accept it under doubt and just go along for the ride. But that was one of the things that I had issues with.
Yep.
And then Black Phone 2 hanging in there for in third place, making another $5 million to add to its $70 million total. So not bad for a sequel, I guess.
Yeah, that's
small budget horror sequel. Yeah,
120 million international.
Yeah. And then Sarah's Oil, don't know what that is, but it did $4 million. It's an Amazon's MGM Studios film.
Yeah, it's with was it Zach Levi? It was based on a true story and like a feel good movie. And I'm trying to remember if it's Angel Studio movie or not.
It says MGM. Amazon
okay,
on there.
I think it's probably like part of their family film. Yeah.
And then Nuremberg came in at fifth place. It's a Sony Pictures film.
Yeah, that's the one with Russell Crowe.
And rounding off the top 10, we got Chainsaw Man again, Begonia from Focus Features.
I actually saw Begonia.
Did you?
I did. I was fascinated because I was a little bit interested when I saw the trailer. I was like, I think I've seen this movie before. Is this a remake of a South Korean movie called
I remember you bringing this up.
Planet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Paulie actually confirmed that for me live last week that it was. So I went to check it out. And the good thing in that movie, in Begonia, is the performances, especially Jesse Plemons. Jesse Plemons is freaking amazing. He is one of the best, most talented actors working right now. Now, I'm not saying that he's a superstar. I am not saying that he is someone that should be headlining major movies himself. I'm not saying that he himself is a draw. But I am saying that he is an incredible talent. He has never delivered a bad performance, and he just elevates everything he is in. And this movie is no exception. The performances here are excellent, especially when he works with someone like Emma Stone. And the two of them, they just elevate each other fantastically. So this movie is worth watching for the performances. Now, having seen the original South Korean movie, I knew the twist, because there's a twist here. I knew that in advance. So I saw the whole movie knowing that twist. which was cool and quite an interesting experience. But I will say that I thought they botched the twist, and because they did, the South Korean movie, the original Save the Green Planet, overall is a far better movie. So that is the movie that I would recommend. So honestly, save yourself the time on watching Begonia. See Save the Green Planet instead. A far superior movie. However, Begonia deserves credit for its amazing performances by Emma Stone and especially Jesse Plemons.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
There you go. There's your movie headline quote.
And then we got Die My Love from Mubi, which didn't do all that well, but it's a little company, I guess, so who cares? Springsteen still hanging in there, but barely, and it hasn't even mustered more than $20 million. So that's not good for the boss. Tron Ares.
Quick pause on Die My Love. That's a Jennifer Lawrence film.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a huge bomb.
J-Law.
It's and another big actor name, I believe. So,
what's it about?
Oh God.
Well, as we can see, regardless of what it is about, it opened in nearly 2,000 theaters and it barely scratched 2 million. That's not impressive at all. That's a solid bomb right there. Yes.
Well, I can segue with this. Are they making as big a deal out of this as they are about Christie bombing? Because
it's your
I've
boy.
never heard of Black Bear Productions or whatever the hell that is.
Yeah. It's your boy that's in it, Robert Pattinson.
Oh, fuck Robert.
Here's what the movie's about. I think it's mental illness and motherhood or something, I think is the premise.
Right.
My point was...
What's that?
So it's a Marvel film, yeah, like Marvel said. But no, so like my point was, I haven't seen any headlines about the J-Law movie bombing, but I've seen plenty about Christie bombing, so they're making a big deal. I mean, they're like really, the media is beating up on Sydney Sweeney. It's like they can't even give her a shot. She has yet to make a big studio picture where she's the star, yet they keep acting like every movie she comes out is a bomb. I'm like, you do realize that all these movies she's done and they're coming out are like little indie movies, right? Like... None of them are like huge 40, 50, 60 to $100 million studio pictures.
Well, Christie is though.
Is it really though?
$40 to $50 million budget on the movie?
I've never heard of Black Bear, and I didn't see any promotion on this. I knew this was coming, but I didn't know it was coming out this weekend.
I'm curious what they spent on Die My Love. I didn't see any numbers on that.
Yeah, let's compare it to that.
I'm looking for it, and they're not.
I did look at numbers for Tron Ares and actually Deadline eventually. I don't know if you guys caught it the first of the month, but they did include the print and advertising numbers, and that thing had a budget of almost 350 million.
Woo!
Yeah.
For which one?
Tron Ares.
Oh God, yeah. Tron's gonna cost Disney a shit ton. They're lucky Predator's doing well, and I don't think Predator costs.
I'm sure it's very good news for them.
Oh fuck yeah, because I'm sure Tron was like,
the chances of Badlands turning a profit are much better than Tron Ares.
Die My Love was bought by Mubi for $24 million at Cannes. So I don't know how much it costs to make.
Somewhere in that region, probably 15.
I never heard of it.
Probably a lot cheaper though.
I didn't see a single trailer.
Me either. They did not include a marketing budget because there wasn't one. I don't know.
J-Law, did the circuit a little bit. And,
I was gonna say she was out in interviews because this is her first movie in 2 years.
Well, and she was trying to play the same Tom Cruise, Sydney Sweeney. Don't want to talk about politics.
Right. That's the only thing you heard
out there.
Yeah, but I just heard this. I just saw the first interview after the movie came out. Nothing.
Right.
Well, it's also getting a D+ cinema score. So
really,
oof.
I mean, that's not good.
Yeah, but you're not wrong, Tom. As far as
it just feels like they're picking on Sydney and they're not saying shit about J-Law.
Well, yeah, because she picked the other. They're seeing her as she's picking the other side.
Yeah, exactly. So they have to take her down. I mean, that's the whole point. Like, she's the enemy now. They're not going to say it outright, but you saw it in the interview that we covered on Friday. They're like, here you have now the opportunity to join our cause and distance everything we want you to distance. Will you do that? And she's like, no. I mean, that's going to win her favors among normal people, and it's going to put her more on the outs with the crazy people inside of the bubble. But it doesn't really matter, because when you just look at what she was able to do for that American Eagle jeans thing, that only goes to show her power as an influencer and to lure over an audience. And I think, and Paul, both anyone really correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think that they are going to look more at, wow, this is someone that really has the audience in her hand. And when she endorses a product, it's going to really skyrocket, so she can do a career out of that. But even so, I think they're going to see, like, oh, fine, this movie didn't work out. That movie didn't work out. Maybe it was something wrong with the movie that wasn't just able to capitalize on her popularity and her audience. I think the next company is going to see, okay, here we have this role to fill. We don't care what happened before. Just look at the social media stats. We want Sydney Sweeney. I think that she's really hot right now, and she can walk away from any bomb. I mean, right now at least. I mean, she won't be able to do so forever, but she's able to do so right now. I mean, just look at Madam Web. That movie was a huge bomb, and she came away from it more famous. But she didn't even do anything.
She wore a dress at the premiere.
She walked away from that completely and utterly unscathed and more popular for it.
You have to start. I think, Andre, you have to start putting her in more masculine movies. Like, if you made her Black Cat in Spider-Man, that'd be huge.
You remake Red Sonja right away.
I was going to say, she's like a Red Sonja or a Barbarella or something like that away from being a star. That's what I'm trying to say. And as much as the media dumps on her, I agree with you guys. The reason they keep writing about her is because she gets clicks, right? I mean, the proof is in the American Eagle ad right there. So,
but there is that, Tom. I'm not saying there's that. You're absolutely right. But the audience didn't show up for this.
There's one reason why I think that might be. Besides all there's no promotion or any of that bullshit involved. There's one main reason why I think this, besides some of the other, because some of the other movies she's done are just like really small indie movies that nobody's ever heard of, and they come and go.
Well, the rom-com.
Yeah, aside from that one, which did do well. But, like, in this case, I think that she's kind of working against her type right now. Like, if you see her images in this movie, she doesn't even look like herself. Which it can be cool for an actor, especially if they're going for an Oscar. But that's when you do that kind of stuff when you're 15, 20 years into your career, not trying to kick your career off. I get what she's doing here with this. I'm not saying it was a bad move, but she has made herself almost unrecognizable, especially when she is the it girl of the moment.
I would have never known that was her if I didn't already know it, if I saw that poster.
Which is fine. Like I said, for an actor to do, that's great. But at this point, I just don't know if this was the right move for her. I still believe that she's only one movie away.
Someone in the chat just hit the nail on the head. They said, if DC makes her Power Girl, that's it. It's over.
Exactly.
So there was a movie she did a couple of months ago called Eden, and that was a big budget Ron Howard film. And that really came and went away after 1 week. Our reviewer saw it, who wasn't a Sweeney fan, because of all the just as far as the model stuff and the dress and stuff. And she came away saying this is Sweeney's best performance. She absolutely was incredible in this film. It's called Eden.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember when it came out. Yeah.
And we tried to watch it. We just didn't like it. Everyone had
Ron Howard hasn't made a good movie in like 30 years though. So
I mean, yeah, Jude Law, Ana de Armas, Sydney Sweeney. I mean, this is a Vanessa Kirby, big cast. Everyone had all these ridiculous accents going on. Anyways, I really think that her not condemning the Jean ads is really going to hurt her as far as if she had any award aspirations, because they're just really going.
I see what you're saying.
You're right. I think you're right.
Oh no, they're
for sure.
Hollywood media can't stand her.
The industry isn't going to like her, but and I agree with Tom in the sense that again, one of the things that I know from experience is that often the audience will tell you what your image is. And in this particular case, they Sweeney was not playing the character that the audience wants her to play. I mean, I've experienced it myself. I did 20 weeks of stand-up straight, and the straight weeks of stand-up as a straight person. And it was funny that the audience didn't like it when I swore. They wanted me to be the nice guy. The audience dictated what kind of performance they envisioned coming from me. So I can see that with Christy, which I think bears with agreement with what Tom is. Maybe this is a little bit early in her
right.
career.
It would be like if Schwarzenegger would have tried to do Kindergarten Cop right after Terminator.
Correct.
Right. It just didn't work then because he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger yet.
Yeah, his timing was pretty good with becoming a well-known actor, and then
spot on.
And then was able to shift into comedy primarily because he was a very funny guy and could do it.
Yeah. But the reason it worked is because his image had been built up and built up and built up. And I agree with you. Sidney needs to start concentrating on doing the more sexier roles, the stuff that the people want to see. Because like with you, Paul, you agree. They saw you as the character that they always saw you on TV and stuff. So they wanted you to be that version of yourself. Kind of like with Bob Saget when he would go out and do stand-up.
I was thinking of Bob Saget.
Exactly. He'd do the absolute opposite just to shock people because they were expecting Danny Tanner. And he's like, no, fuck you. I'm going to do a pedophile joke.
Man. He did a blue show, let me tell you.
Very. And he did it on purpose after a while. I mean, he was always kind of semi whatever, but like when Danny Tanner happened and everybody's like expecting him to come out and do gee golly shucks, America's Funniest Home Video type jokes. He's like, no, I'm going to shock the hell out of you and tell you some stuff you never saw before. But he was able to do that at that point because he was already built up his image. That's the same thing with Sidney too.
But you know what? This Christy is not going to hurt Sidney's reputation because it is an honest effort and not a cynical effort, it seems to me. But the cinema score is still is B-, which we know anything under A- is not good. Like
not good at all. No.
Yeah. So now that being said, I think Badlands got an A-, so that's pretty good.
I think Sweeney is, you guys mentioned it earlier, she's not really taking roles where she is some sex goddess type thing, right? So you had Eden, and I think the very next week, that came out in August, what Paulie was talking about. But I think the very next week, she had that Paul Hauser movie she starred in, Americana, also came out in August. It kind of came and went. She has I think a horror movie coming out directed by Paul Feig in December called The Housemaid.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, she's working. She is an active and working actress. So I don't know that her career is going to slow down. And, there's still talk about this Edgar Wright version of Barbarella, that she's.
Yes, there's that. And that would help her image too. But there's another career, a woman's career, I think she should pay attention to that I think she might be able to follow. And that was Goldie Hawn. Because Goldie was able to take both her image and the fact that she could act and be funny, all three things, because that's all three things that she is, and put them together into this package. And people forget how big Goldie Hawn was.
Oh yeah,
back in the early 80s. Like she was arguably one of the top female stars. In fact, I remember the hilarity of it is she got top billing in Overboard over Kurt Russell and made almost twice as much as him. That's the other funny part.
It all went to the same bank account though.
Well, the funny thing is she was the big star. That's his biggest, as far as I know, I think that's his biggest box office hit. Is Overboard, and that's just because they were in it together. Not her though. She got nominated for Private Benjamin. That's the kind of now you remake Private Benjamin right now with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah,
box office brilliance right there.
She has comedic timing. She proved that on SNL.
That's my point. So. That's my point.
They should remake Some Like It Hot, but a rap version.
A rap version? What the fuck?
I mean, rather than a bunch of guys hiding as jazz musicians.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
By the way, Goldie Hawn wasn't that big, an A cup at most.
Oh, come on, Marvin. Oh.
Sydney Sweeney's a lot bigger. Let's just.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I just mean she was, she got big being on Laugh-In and kind of known as this sex pot of sorts, and then she kind of rechanged her image into the 80s and was the one of the biggest female actresses of that time.
I don't know how big Diane Keaton ever was, but she had a very good, varied career.
Well, she was already a lot older by then too.
Actresses of that time.
I don't
Yeah.
know how big
Yeah.
Diane Keaton ever was, but she had a very.
Somebody's got the
Well,
stream
she was
playing
already
in
a
the
lot older
background
by
here.
then too.
Someone's repeating me.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's got the stream playing. I think it was Paulie accidentally.
Hmm.
That happens. But anyway, let's wrap up the box office talk here. I think the big winner this week would be Disney. I guess we got to give props for props are due, but how much of a win because of Tron Ares is debatable. Let's see what you guys are debating about or talking about out there in the chat. We got Fallen Angel D Links, who's been a member for 3 months. Speaking of, we got to do a member stream very soon, Andre.
Very soon, in the next few days here.
Yes. Before that, please remember the tragic sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald through Gordon Lightfoot's song is now 50 years since that tragedy. That's true. It is very true. So
I
check
was
it
just
out.
listening to that song last night, actually.
I've never heard that song.
Really?
I haven't either, but I'm not Canadian, so
Listen to it; it's great. You don't have to be Canadian to enjoy it. It's
Gordon
wonderful.
Lightfoot. It's required listening for.
It's
for
about a
Canadians,
ship
right,
from
Paul?
Wisconsin.
Yes.
I was making.
I'm good. I'm good.
I was making a playlist called, and you can steal this title, but it was like old country songs. So it was called Track Country is the name of the.
Gordon
Eight-track
Lightfoot
country?
was a
I-
god.
I
Actually,
had just,
Bob Dylan's favorite artist.
Yeah,
We
he's
just-
fantastic. Yeah.
We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. And one of the presents that I did was I sang karaoke to Romy, a Brazilian song. I learned Portuguese for that damn song.
Ooh, wow.
I practiced that song the last 2 months. And it's a great song. And I sang it the other night, Portuguese and all. And I was
How'd it go over?
she was very happy. No, she's like, you got it, you did it.
Okay.
Oh,
So she
awesome.
didn't file for divorce then. That's good.
Which song
Congratulations,
was it?
Paulie. Congrats.
Yeah. Which song was it? Out of curiosity.
It's called Vela Infancia.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's
Not
by
one I
Las
had-
Tribulistas. And oh my God.
You
Not
just
one I
have to
can
get all
claim
those
familiarity.
rounded vowels out.
I'm not gonna sing you guys a bar. I'm not.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
I'm waiting for. I'm sitting here waiting for.
I'm
it.
waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting for a.
Well, you'll be waiting all the time
Hoje
because we have more super chats to go through.
E gosto de ficar com você.
Yay.
Hey, thank
We
you.
got your wish.
That's it.
Soul Nightmare says with $10. Thank
you
you
do
so
for
much, Soul
love?
Nightmare. The best part of Badlands is when he has to craft weapons and armor from teeth bones and even plant life. The razor grass whip was awesome and even uses it to replace his broken wrist blades. Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
that was a great tribute to the original movie right there.
Yeah. And then we got one on the Rumble side here from Kalikioki, who says, let's see here, I'll bring it up on screen. Sweeney needs her big break. Remember how many bombs Margot Robbie was in before Barbie? She needs to attach herself to the perfect casting franchise to launch herself. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, Sydney Sweeney's been around kind of like Margot Robbie had been, and she had a few bumps up, and then Barbie was the thing she needed. But again, we'll see what Margot Robbie does with that.
Well, and
yeah.
these things can't be planned. You can't make a viral movie. You can't make purposely a successful movie. These are all things that are you just don't know what's going to be successful or not. Oh God damn it! That stupid Bruce Willis movie. Nobody thought that was going to be successful.
Look Who's Talking.
Die Hard? Or which one?
Die Hard. Yeah. These things are Die Hard. These things are incredible accidents.
Marvin gets me.
I got you, Tom.
Star Wars was a wonderful accident.
What?
Star Wars, the very first Star Wars.
Oh. I'm sorry. I thought you said something else. I'm just
Star
laughing
Wars?
at Tom too.
I didn't hear.
Well, we
Tom.
laugh at Look Who's Talking, but that motherfucking movie made over like $300 million in
That was a hit.
1989.
That was a hit if there
That
ever was
talking
one.
baby raked in the cash in one of the biggest box office years in the 1980s.
In a lot of sequels too, right?
Fuck yeah,
Look Who's
two of the
Talking
almost
2,
worst
and then Look
sequels
Who's
ever.
Talking
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
The
see
third
any
one
of them.
almost killed John Travolta's career for a third time.
The
Was there
third
one with the
Look
dogs
Who's
or
Talking
something
Now
as
was
well?
one with the dogs.
It was
Yeah,
the
that's what I
dogs. Yes,
thought.
it was.
Yeah.
This one
The only-
literally went to the dogs. Yes.
The only thing I remember in that movie is the one dog going, "Yo, mama."
Always a great, funny line.
Diane Keaton's in it. Paul brought her up just a few minutes ago. She does the voice of the poodle dog, and then you got Danny DeVito doing the voice of the mutt. So yeah,
I liked I liked Look Who's Talking Too when they added Roseanne Barr into the equation.
It's not as bad as the third one. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's got its moments. My disappointment with the second one is they introduced the end. It's Joan Rivers saying, "Can we talk?" And then in the next one, it's Roseanne, and it's like, okay, you set it up as Joan Rivers though, but all right.
Mm-hmm.
Either one works. So yeah, with that, let's keep moving along on the super chats here. Thanks again, guys. Klekiyoki over on the Rumble side, not to be forgotten over there, you guys. We do try to pay attention. We got Miller who says when I think he means when are the studios going to intervene with trades stuffing up their film's performance then trying to gay and trans everything up for narrative reasons. Well, it's just studios are just gonna have to start trying to find ways to push back. I mean, with the Predator thing, exactly. I was gonna say with the Predator thing, I don't think Disney cared. I think they wanted that out there. Disney probably did. Now the Superman thing, we could tell that was a little different.
Yeah, because here's like the thing: you have competing interests here, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tom. Sorry about that. But anyway,
no, you're fine.
Yeah. Because you have competing interests. On one hand, they want the movie to do as well as possible. And there's an increasing understanding that they are indeed in a bubble and the audience does not agree with them. And you are going to see that reflected in the content to come out in the next few years here. At the same time, they still have their white suits and their various cocktail parties to attend, which are still in the bubble, and where the message and the cause and all of these things, they still matter. They haven't changed that much. It's like minor thing, but still they're on the right side of history and everything. And these people, they still have to be able to show their faces in these parties, and they cannot be seen to like, oh yeah, no, we're completely off the course now. No. It's a slow and gradual thing that everyone can kind of live with. So of course they're probably very happy with being given the cover of, oh, this thing is gay and trans. It's like, it's not true, but hey, now they have the cover that, yeah, they can show their faces at the parties. So I don't think that there's going to be any pushback. Because
is this Predator the gayest Predator since Jeffrey Dahmer?
Exactly. If there was pushback, that would mean that they would walk back the line that or the causes that they previously supported. So there can't be any pushback. I think Disney is secretly happy for these headlines and may even have been behind them.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, a lot of times these trades do get their marching orders from Disney. It's very obvious when they're all repeating kind of the same rhetoric.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the Superman Warner Brothers thing, I'm pretty sure the last thing they wanted was that movie to be seen as political or an immigration this or all the stuff they were throwing at it. So Gunn did his best to deviate that question. But when it comes to this, I would think that Disney's feeding this shit to the media.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because
that article that you broke down, was pretty obvious. Like this guy's like, oh, I'm just kidding, but it's really the gayest ever. Oh, I'm just kidding, but wouldn't it be great if it was?
Yeah, I only thought of that later, but maybe I'll do a follow-up. But I think now that those marching orders came from Disney. Like, hey, okay, we've watched this movie, and it's pretty badass, and the fans are going to like it. But you guys in the press and all of the virtue signalers in Hollywood, they're going to be upset with us because there ain't no DEI in this. This is not part of the message.
Well, connect it with that Sweeney interview.
Say that you can get away with. Put this out there. That's what I think. I think it's a face-saving measure.
And then connect it with that Sweeney interview because that's kind of showing that the media is still pushing this shit, right? They're still in this little bubble. And it goes along with that thing that I was saying too, is like they'll change the shit, right? But then they'll turn around and blame Trump or whoever for changing the shit. And then if it fails, it just does happen to fail, then they'll still blame it on somebody else. But in this case, the movie's doing fine, I think, because of the word of mouth on it. And it wasn't because of what they did. If anything, that hurt the opening night. So, like, yeah, I think you got a point there. And, you know, I don't think they're going to learn anytime soon, Miller. It's going to take quite a few bombs and studios to get involved.
It's not a matter of learning because they know that they are.
They do.
That they are out of touch. So it's not a matter of learning, it's a matter of now they have to leave their religion behind to adjust.
This is where somebody like Ellison might matter, because if he is actually going to be what he says, then that's fine. And what I basically hear out of him is we're just going to entertain people. Which, if that's his agenda, then cool. But that means you got to get entertaining people behind your shit. That means you can't have Alex Kurtzman around there. That means you can't have any of these other fuckers you used to work with over at Skydance, like J.J. Abrams.
Well, they already got rid of Star Trek 4, so they're getting JJ out of there in some way.
That's a good sign. That's a step in the right fucking direction. Now get Seth Rogen the fuck out the building too while you're at it. That's another one that needs to go.
Thank God that Darkwing Duck that he was going to do never actually happened. Because after what he did to the Turtles, it's just kind of never materialized. But after what he did to the Turtles, I never want to see him near anything.
You know what he's going to do in Darkwing Duck.
Of course he's
made nothing but farting weed jokes. Launchpad McQuack is
he's actually in the sitcom Nobody Wants This. He plays the person who manages a very chill synagogue in LA.
It's called Nobody Wants This.
It's a sitcom. It's very.
Oh, okay. Is it about him playing Donkey Kong?
No,
or anything.
He's in one episode.
There's the one thing I wish I could change for the Nintendo movies is him as Donkey Kong.
I was
this close to getting that fucking Keanu Reeves Guardian Angel movie, but then it reminded me that he is in that stupid movie, and I'm just like,
what, Godfather 3?
Yes, The Godfather 3.
Starring Keanu Reeves.
That one that I said I couldn't remember. I can never remember the title of it. It's good something or other.
Dracula.
Yes, Dracula. Yeah. Tim Hayes has been here for 52 months. How you doing, Tim? Good to see you.
Hey, Tim.
We got Joe Pat 87 who says, have you guys seen this publicity for the Running Man where Arnie shows off $1? That might be the best marketing for his movie. I have not seen that yet. No, I've seen another trailer, a newer trailer for it, but not that.
That's a right movie. Also, I hope it works. I like him as a director. He's a creative guy.
This could be one of those few that might be good. I've been hearing some rumblings from people behind the scenes that they got the humor in this one. They got.
I don't know why it needed to be remade. So
I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But the fact that
I can answer because it's a known title, it's a known quantity, and they can claim it's not a remake. It's a new adaptation of the Stephen King novel, which inspired the original. Like now we associate this with a Schwarzenegger vehicle because he's in it. But the fact of the matter is that it was a Stephen King story first that Christopher Reeve was even attached to before Arnold Schwarzenegger came aboard, and it became a Schwarzenegger vehicle.
He'll be president in the movie. You watch.
Something like that.
He's on the dollar bills or whatever. So we caught that in that initial trailer. So, and what's going to be, I don't know this. This is just me speculating. What'll end up happening is this going to be a quasi sequel. Okay. So when Arnold Schwarzenegger's character won the original Running Man back in the day, he was so popular, he eventually became president. So watch, that's what this premise is going to be. It's going to be a retelling, but it's also going to be a reboot. I'm probably
and that works. Hey, and now you haven't wiped the previous one out to canon. But let's move on here.
Indeed, we've got Hyper Guyver 2 who says if you can make 7 slasher movies, you can keep them the same. There is zero reason you can't make more Predator films the same way. It's a slasher flick, for fuck's sake. Yeah, we kind of covered this, and I agree with you. It is both. Right, that's the beauty of it, is it works in so many different ways, and the beauty is you can come back to that style, which they did with The Predator, and it didn't work, unfortunately, and that was, whether you want to blame it on script and several other problems that went into that movie, you have that issue. But
I think Hyper Guyver might be alluding to the not really necessarily humanizing the Predator, but it's almost like it's a little further. It's more humanizing than, say, what Rob Zombie tried to do with Michael Myers, right?
And I think he's referring to that you actually could have made many more movies, like the original Predator and Predators. And I feel that's what Predator 2 should have been. And there easily could have been a couple of really cheap movies made that same way, just like you had Friday the 13th. And I think it's a waste of opportunity that you didn't have that before they moved the franchise in a different direction. But
I got to tell you, Tom, we rewatched Halloween, the latest one.
Ends?
The one before it, the good one.
Kills.
Oh, Kills?
Yes, right. That's the
Evil
first
Dies
week.
Tonight. Are you talking about the 2018 one?
2018.
Yeah.
Romy and them, they freaking loved it.
Oh.
I mean, they just need to duplicate that stuff, man. Because it's going away on Netflix, so they were kind of promoting on Netflix.
I had my issues with that, but like, had they had the sequel to that? I mean, Halloween Kills, I secretly love because everybody hates because it's basically every sequel from the 80s, and people don't get that.
Okay.
It is. It's just totally every. It's every bad sequel trope. But then Halloween Ends destroyed that because what it should have been is so much better. But yeah, I mean, that Halloween 2018 movie made more money than all the entire franchise put together when it came out.
Yep.
Oh, the girls went wild over it. That's how you do it. Yeah, that's right.
Well, they were trying to take Mikey back to being a babysitter, but then they still made it all about Jamie Lee Curtis at the end. So yeah. Anyway, Pilgrim Media says, Andre, I understand about Klingons use wet wipes. Oh, that's like a Paul Shadow joke.
Yeah.
Gud Gal Ninjan. Did I say that right?
No, Gud Galningen, which basically is like the crazy god. Sounds like something out of Herman Hedning.
I'll try to remember that. The crazy god. Old JJ fanboy here. Abrams just hosted an evening with Ryan Johnson. That was really not on my bingo card for 2025. Even crack jokes. God bless. I heard something about that. I haven't got a chance to check it out yet, though.
Are they trying to prove that they don't hate each other?
Hey, Ray.
I think so.
Ray.
Yeah, Paul never mutes.
Shadow. Jesus.
Ryan Johnson also just confirmed finally that there's no, like, his trilogy isn't happening. It's not even in any kind of active development.
Also notice that they make this official after no one cares anymore. It was the same thing when Ben Affleck was finally confirmed to not return to Batman. At that point, everyone had already guessed and no one really cared anymore. Same thing here. It's like, yeah, fine, no one.
Yeah.
It's
already broken.
It's the Lucasfilm playbook, right? You announce something and then you just never touch it again. You never revisit it. You never start production. That's why I'm like, they should just announce that they're making The Hunt for Ben Solo to shut all these annoying Reylos up and then just do what they do and never make it.
Yeah, perfect. Something that's significantly less perfect is that Mr. Chateau, Ray himself, sadly has to be leaving.
Sorry, I left the audio on this stupid thing.
Oh, you did.
It happens. It happens.
I love it.
I'm too loud. Yes, I bring a lot of home life to this channel. Anyways, I got to go. Please visit Appalling News. I got a new one today. And
before you run, I just want to show you something. Look here, I found something. It's from Norway. It's a couple of old VHS tapes.
I'm looking.
Yeah, look, it's you. It's your work. It's Ewok on VHS in Norwegian.
Sweet.
I watched this on a cruise ship.
Aren't even dubbed; they're subtitled, so your voice is there on Norwegian VHS.
Love it.
I do my best work in Norwegian.
Yeah.
I watched this on a cruise ship for Royal Caribbean back in April. There was just like a cartoons channel on the TV and there was Ewoks on. And I was just like, oh, Paul Shadow. Cool. We're watching this.
It's awesome.
That's funny.
What's funny about this? What's funny about Ewoks compared to Droids on the Disney Plus is Droids actually got a new HD scan. Ewoks, on the other hand, is just simply up converts from the old VHS master.
They were like, don't waste too much money on Shadow.
Droids suck. Bye, everyone. See you later.
Bye.
Shadow. Take care, brother.
Droids suck. All
Droids suck. Yeah, they get all the love.
Slay, boy.
Slay queen.
Slay. Predators, Badlands, slays, everybody.
Oh no.
Slays. You gotta read it as that's why they have that language in there on the Hollywood Reporter, guys.
Oh, for sure.
That guy. See, these are the type of people that are writing for them and they wonder why they're losing to us. Klekioki gifted a membership. Thank you for that, Kleki. We appreciate that. Then Willie is here. If you can grab this real quick, Andre.
Certainly. Then we have Willie the Monkey King's been a member for 31 months saying, yeah, I sort of agree with you about Sweeney, but does her internet fame translate into sales? With Christie, I doubt it. Yeah, I agree. Not with Christie. This is literally what what I was saying, obviously, before you sent this in, but so it's kind of been addressed already. You pair her up with the right project, with a Barbarella or Red Sonja or something like that, it's going to be freaking huge.
Did you say?
She just needs the correct role.
Yeah.
Did you say White Project? Did I hear that right?
Right Project. With an R, but if you want to hear a W and an H in there, go for it.
It's a dog whistle.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling about this right now.
I think her Anyone But You movie did like over 200 million. The Glenn Powell movie she did a couple years ago.
That was huge, and
Andre,
that was like overnight. That like
Andre, what I want to do right now is give you an opportunity to apologize for those comments.
Yes.
No.
But like you can't look at Andre. You kind of like have to do your interview, like looking away. Like, oh, what a creeper that woman was. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I am not of the Hollywood bubble, and I do not give a fuck. So yeah.
I don't know why you had to censor yourself there, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't increase the volume, but yeah.
Thank you, Willie, for being a member, and he's one of the members that was asking me about a member stream, so hopefully very soon. Yep. We got Jason Webster, who says, audience have yearned for a more story-driven, gripping dramas and pure fun blockbusters in the box office, not shallow, preachy, topic-driven dribble. Yes, we want to get back to the 80s, even though Tarantino claims that was the worst era. It's like, dude, once in a while the audience just wants to go to a movie and feel good when they walk out. They don't want to feel like a piece of shit.
You know,
right?
I just saw the other day, Tom, that Short Circuit 2 was free on YouTube.
I love that movie. I just watched it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, my wife and I watched it over the weekend, and I was just like, this is what we need again. Like this fun. My wife was like, oh well, like the robot couldn't have gotten down that manhole. I was like, yeah, you need to not question things. Like that.
Shut up. Just watch the movie.
Yeah. I was like, you have to just let the 80s movies happen.
He's a robot that thinks he's alive, for Pete's sake.
And like that whole like thing with they're playing I Need a Hero and he's chasing Oscar at the end. Oh, that movie is
awesome.
Better than Short Circuit 1, I also think.
You know what? That's one of those rare sequels that it might be. But yeah, no, like I think that's what people, I mean, because I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with my girlfriend the other day, and she didn't like the ending. I mean, she still liked the movie, but it's like, yeah, I reminded of how like the 70s were full of downer endings, and it's like, yeah, that's why the 80s got to a point where there's such good happy endings that sometimes they come from nowhere and they're even ridiculous, and how because they had to reshoot it.
Tell her to go read the book. It's even worse,
right? Yeah, I'm sure. Actually, that's one of the few that I don't think I've ever read the book, Paulie, to be honest with you.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, the film made some changes, but I mean both are classics.
Right, but my point is by the time you get to the 80s, people didn't want those kind of endings. They wanted and that's why I think Rocky resonated with the audience eventually too. Is like, even though he didn't win, he still won a personal victory, right?
He did, but he did what he wanted to do. What he set out to do. He said, "All I want to do is go the distance."
And that's one of the few movies. And then Star Wars came along next, and then as you see that in the last part of the 70s, Smokey and the Bandit, you had a lot of these movies where you had this classic, like the hero wins the day kind of thing going for him, and that's what kind of ushered into the 80s, where it became the clear heroes versus the villains, and that's where guys like Schwarzenegger and Stallone were able to rise up and become the stars they were, I think. And we needed those heroes, and that's what we need now. Speaking of, we need a hero. We need more Jason Stathams, and he's getting too old.
Yeah, he's getting a little long in the tooth.
Exactly. He's gonna be out there like a grandpa going, I'm not just the beekeeper anymore. I work at a nursing home. Yeah. Anyway, Action Com says Gordon Lightfoot's song "That's What You Get for Loving Me" is deliciously evil. Read the lyrics to see what I mean. Oh, Gordon Lightfoot was great. So should say was, because he recently passed here not too long ago.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. Like just either this year or last year it was, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we got Alejandro in the house. How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Smashing Machine, Chrissy.
Hey.
Maybe less biopics. I see where you're coming from, and they are. And here, yeah, I'll let you plug The Unexpecteds here as well. This is his film.
Nice.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, and I think that the studios are starting to get a little more reliant on them, because they're a lot like prequels, sequels, and rebootquels, in that they have something that people can that they recognize, like like Bohemian Rhapsody, for instance.
Let's say Bohemian Rhapsody hit, and then all of a sudden, all these biopics got greenlit.
Well, even Oppenheimer. I mean, it almost
Michael Jackson's going to be a big one.
I think so. And then you got The Founder is another thing, is now the product biopic, right? And like Paulie, you talked to me about like the Cheetos one and some other ones too that, you know,
Tetris.
Tetris is Tetris is kind of funny because it falls in so many different categories, and I feel like that was the most overlooked of all of them, because that movie was fucking brilliant, and I think not enough people saw it. But yeah,
that's when all the new movies were going straight to streaming because of
that's an Apple only
shit. Yeah, but I think the Michael Jackson that got a lot of positive reaction, that trailer. And that's another thing with less biopics. It's like maybe on less obscure people, because you know, who knows who Mark Curry is? Who knows who Christy Martin is? Who cares about Bruce Springsteen's story right now? Well, Michael Jackson, Prince, it's another story.
And I'm also reminded though of the making of the movie biopic with The Offer and like the SNL movie and stuff like that. Now, I love that The Offer was a series, so I agree with Alejandro that maybe they should start doing more biopic series and less movies, because I feel like there's not enough, you know, time in some movies to cover all the ground needed to be covered in some of these biopics. And one of the reasons, one of the biggest complaints I've heard from people about the Spielberg biopic, and I've even talked to some people who've seen it, is they said exactly what we were talking about here when we found out on the show, that this is literally just a small little period of his time of him recording one of his lesser known albums that nobody gives a shit about. So who cares about that, as opposed to the Michael Jackson trailer where we're like, it's pretty clear that this is going to cover from the time he was in the Jackson 5 to the bad period. We get that, right? That's pretty obvious from the trailer. And that's what people want to see, or at least most people want to see anyway. So, I mean, I get where Alejandro's coming from here, and I see where you're coming from, and I think maybe there's a time that Hollywood may come to a point where they realize that they've done too much, but I doubt it.
You know, I just want to say, Alejandro, you should do the Danny Trejo biopic.
Yeah.
That would be badass.
That actually would be very cool.
Danny Don't Text.
Yeah.
Green 74 has become a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Green. We appreciate that. Kalekioki coming in on the YouTube side is all. It says, can we watch the whole Bloody Affair trailer? Well, I don't think we can watch it, but we definitely can discuss it real quick.
What is it? They're just putting the first. I didn't see the trailer. They're just putting the first two movies. They're putting the two movies together into one long movie.
Well, it's the whole Bloody Affair with some new footage, and because they
is it the new version of it? Because I mean,
it is technically a new version. Yes.
Oh,
well,
okay.
Okay, so for those who don't know, a brief history quick, when Tarantino first shot it, when he first presented it, it was one movie. But the Weinsteins wanted him to cut it down to 2 hours. And he's like, fuck you, I'm not cutting it down to 2 hours. And so they're like, all right, well then let's split it up into two movies. And they're like, that's fucking brilliant. And because there is a demarcation in the film where it goes from the movie you're being told the story through the bride's perspective and her eyes. And that's kind of the more anime, flashier, kung fu movie style that's in the movie. That's all her reminiscing, going back and telling you that story. Then you get to the second half of the movie, which is in real time. That's the second movie. So he found a way to split those two movies up and make them feel so different. But the thing is, he had to shoot like 1 or 2 extra bits, and some other things got lost. And then the MPAA got involved, and they wouldn't allow the Crazy 88 fight to go out the way it was. So because of all that, the movie was never actually finished in the whole Bloody Affair. So what they've done now is they've gone back and finished the film. They added some new sequences into the animated bits. I think he put in some deleted footage that I don't even know if it was ever in the whole Bloody Affair to begin with.
Do they put in the scene that got cut with Bill, the flashback with Bill?
It might be in there now. I think that's kind of the whole point. And from the look of the trailer, I was even more impressed because it looks like they finally rescanned the negative. Because if anybody who bought the 4Ks of Kill Bill knows, they look like absolute donkey shit because they're just up converts of the 2K master, because that movie was done in the early days of digital editing. So yeah. So anyhow, that being said, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a hell of a show.
Do they take the black and white out of the Crazy 88?
Yes, it's being released unrated. Really? It's being released unrated. That's the other thing too. Yeah.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Out in theaters?
Yes, and Tarantino's showing it in 70mm at his theater. A few other. Yeah.
I'll go check that out. I got to bounce though.
Yeah, this is our last super chat, so thank you for that. I don't know if anybody else wants to bring in a thought real quick on Kill Bill, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want the panel to plug their wares. Paul,
start with Paulie since he's got to run.
Begin with you.
Hey, okay, I'm going to take off right now. We got Jeff Block from Exhibitor Relations Company coming on.
Oh, awesome.
Second time he's been on the channel. He just got he's always great, and he just last week he got interviewed for the Hollywood Reporter in regards to the box office and all that stuff. So we're gonna I have tons of questions for him. He's a fantastic guest. Come on and continue the conversation on Post Edge. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Take care, sir.
And of course, this stream redirects, so you don't have to go anywhere.
Orale. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great week.
Yeah.
See you, Polly.
Marvin, what you got going on?
So we got Tooneytown TV, my YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Like, share, and subscribe. We got a live stream coming up on Wednesday morning, right before this, and it'll probably redirect into this, where we're gonna do Marvin Movie Monster in the morning, and then on Thursday night we got Toonie Talk TV, which is our live stream pop culture podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check it out. Also, thatparkplace.com and geeksandgamers.com for all of your daily entertainment news.
Awesome
Bookmark
sauce.
them.
And Chris, you got a few things going on. What you got going on?
Man, I got so much going on. We are talking over at Bleeding Fool about that Kill Bill movie today. We're also
Sweet.
right now. I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but Alan Rickson of Reacher fame is going to be in the DCU, just not as Batman. So we've got a little story about that coming up.
Oh,
shortly.
cool. Yeah.
I've seen something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for the Midnight's Edge boost on my publishing venture. It's the weird Western called Bronze Star. So
which we started off the show with. Yeah, the trailer.
Yeah, a few clicks for that. So I really appreciate it. I'll try and throw out a promo code later this week for you guys. So I appreciate it.
Sweet.
Yep. Thanks, fellas.
And Andre promised us a video, so that should hopefully be dropping in the next 48 hours. And with that, Midnight's Edge After Dark tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central. It's time for some
koalas in the
koalas in the rain. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koalas in the rain.